Bungo created all the interesting anime when it comes to not only their powers, but their characters too. One of the characters I want to talk about in this video though is Ryunosuke Akutagawa, the main rival of the main character, Nakajima. But I don't just want to talk about how strong he is, I want to talk about who he is as a character. Or, who he is exactly. And with that kickstarting the video, let's just get into it. We're introduced to Akutagawa pretty earlier, being in just episode 2, or chapter 3 if you're reading the manga. By the way, not soon after this, we're showing that what his ability is, that being Rashomon. Now, luckily, Akutagawa's ability isn't nothing too complicated. That being, it's able to eat through space itself, or something like that. And since this is the case, he ends up using this as not only a defensive ability, but offensive ability. So it's pretty versatile. Actually, one of the most versatile abilities in the whole verse, if not the most versatile. Now, we will talk about more of his abilities later on, but let's talk about his background. Let's focus on that for right now. Like, how did he get in the Mafia in the first place? You may or not know, but Akutagawa actually has a sister, being Gin. Back when they was kids, they had no family and they were basically orphans. But because of certain events, he ended up meeting Danzai, the member of the detective agency. And this is when Danzai wasn't a member though. This is when Danzai was still back in the Mafia. Meaning that when Danzai brought him to become a dog of the Mafia, he got tough love when he didn't do anything right. And this kind of happened a lot. This led to a few things actually. Like with one thing being Danzai pushing Akutagawa so far that he actually had a better understanding of his ability, making him realize that Rashomon could be used not only in an offensive way, but in a defensive way. Another thing that this led to was Akutagawa having so much respect for Danzai that he kind of idolized him. Now, when I say that he idolized him, I don't mean as a god or anything like that, but more like a father figure. Throughout the series, you actually see this too. Akutagawa just wanted to earn Danzai's respect and praise. And I can actually understand why, because not only did Danzai take him off the screen, but he actually gave his sister and him a place to live at, and no longer be restricted to living in poverty. Now, that's mostly all for his background, besides the fact that he developed a terrible cough, which is one of the reasons why you see him always holding his mouth. But let's talk about how his character was throughout the show, mainly season 1 through 5. Now, I could talk about the manga, but I don't really think it's that important since the manga is only like 10 chapters ahead of when the anime left off. Starting from the earlier seasons, Akutagawa was more of just a straight killer. Now he didn't just kill anybody that was innocent, but he just killed anybody like on his job or who got in his way specifically. But as the series went on, he stopped killing as much, even go as far as making a bet with Nakajima that he wouldn't kill anyone, just to prove a point. Don't be fooled though, if need be, I'm pretty sure if his life was online, he'll take their life if he gets the chance. And by the way, let's talk about the fights he's been a part of, which isn't the best, given the fact that a good amount of his fights end up being interrupted in some way. Which isn't too bad because in this verse, if someone has amazing battle skills, or high battle IQ, they can win against someone with a considerably strong ability. Like considering the fact that some people's top and verse skills outmatch their ability. And I can see these people not having too much trouble beating Akutagawa. Everyone else though, if it was a one-on-one fight, I would see them struggling if they could get the win off him. Take the main character for example, Nakajima. He has one of the strongest ability in the verse that's so much that people off the black market in the show wants his ability, or wants to use him for selfish purposes. But most of his fights against Akutagawa, he lost. Or in some of the fights, Akutagawa just straight up tried to kill him and the only reason he lived is because he got a strong healing factor. But it makes sense when you consider Akutagawa's ability can take on so many different forms and shapes. Like if you're not paying attention, Akutagawa can actually make the ability take a form and travel under the ground to sneak attack you from the back when you're not paying attention. Or has another one of his abilities, he take advantage of the fact that he can manipulate space to a certain degree to create some type of a barrier. And sometimes he just used the ability and coat himself in clad light armor, obviously raising his defense to an alarming degree. Now, if you were to ask me, I would respectfully place him in the top 10 of the strongest characters in the whole verse. Because there are those characters that just out-try him in terms of ability and overall strength, or characters who just match his skill, outmatch his skill. Based on the character we've seen, because in the next season already been green light, so there could be characters that could kick him out the top 10. or who may just do him dirty. Like the character we see in the season finale who we got left on a cliffhanger for. But if you haven't seen the show, I recommend watching it just for this character specifically. But that just about wrapped it up for Akutagawa and how strong he is and who he is as a character. And if you're messing with the videos, subscribe so you can see the next video that I drop next week.